Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome to another installment of Holly tries to help your university fears disappear. Today I wanted to make this video kind of aimed at those of you who are younger than university age, those of you in high school looking to kind of improve your chances of getting to your dream university. Now, I've had a lot of comments recently and a lot of messages from you guys asking about what you can do to get into university, how I managed to get there, what my experience was. So I thought I would compile all of these questions into one video and hopefully this will help out a lot of you. So I've got four little kind of categories here that hopefully will give you guys some advice, some information and help ease your nerves a little bit. So the first one here is try and focus on getting good grades. And I know this is probably a tip that a lot of you won't want to hear because in high school it's not really your number one priority. You're out with your friends a lot, you're just wanting to have fun and do that, but also keep a little bit in the back of your mind that grades will come in handy. Now, I can assure you that once you get into university, nobody gives a monkey's monkey about what you got in high school. It's just one of those things you have to get your head down, focus for a few months in order to get into your university of choice, and then you're done. And attached to this little tip, I also want to remind you guys that prelims matter too. Prelims if you're in Scotland, mocks if you're in England or probably anywhere else in the world. While I was in school, I heard a lot of chat about people not revising for prelims because they don't matter, or they couldn't be bothered, or I wanted to have a fun Christmas, or anything along those lines. But let me tell you that prelims do matter. Not only do they give you a backup if you can't make your exams or if your exams go horribly wrong, they also just give you some extra practice at that exam scenario. So please guys, focus on your prelims. Although they don't get submitted to universities or anything, if you do well on your prelims and for some reason can't make your exams, they will save you a little bit, I promise. And my final little tip in this section is don't be put off if you don't get straight A's. Throughout school, I was never the worst in a class, but I was certainly not ever the best. I was always just kind of floating by with B's, the occasional A, and I was completely happy with that. I did not think that I was any better, but in my exams, I did pretty decent. I didn't get all A's, but I got pretty good marks. And although these marks wouldn't have got me into, say, like a medicine course, it got me to where I wanted to be. And also remember that grades aren't everything. Universities place a lot of importance on personal statements and also interviews if you have any of them, depending on what course you're going for. And on top of that, some put more importance on UCAS points than grades anyway. And if you don't get into where you want, remember that there is always clearing. Now, I know a lot of people that have actually gotten into their chosen course through clearing because they didn't think that there would be enough space, so they got declined, and then the university realised that actually they've got a few extra spaces, and then they called those people back and they got into their chosen course. I guess summarising all that up is focus on your grades, put in the work, try and do the very, very best that you can, but do not put yourself down if you do not get what you were expected or what you were wanting or what your university wants, because there's always another way in. My second tip relates a little bit more to personal statement and interview ammunition, and that is get as much experience as you can. For primary education, the course I'm doing, they place a lot of importance on the interview and any experience that you have because it shows that you know what you're going into. And so any free time that I had, I wanted to focus it on doing things that could get me a better little nudge above everyone else in my interview. So wherever you can, get as much experience that can relate specifically to your course. For me, that was contacting different primary schools whenever I had a week off that they didn't have off. In 5th year, I finished my exams a week before exam leave ended, so I went in to a local primary school and did a week's work experience, and that was backup and proof that I actually wanted to do this course. I also spent a lot of my free periods in 6th year helping out in the junior school of my school, which again proved that I wanted to be there. So if you can, get some experience of what course you're applying to. I know for some this can be a lot more difficult if you're wanting to study things like engineering, but try your hardest because it will show. And secondly, if you can't get experience in the exact field that you want to go into, try and get some form of experience, whether this is a Saturday job, whether this is doing your own little kind of freelance bits if you want to go into something creative, anything that shows that you have a passion and that you're committed to what you want to do. Even something as simple as working in a cafe on a Saturday shows that you're committed and motivated and that you want to stick to things. Moving on to my third point, it is get thinking about personal statements. Whether you are just about to apply to UCAS or whether you're in like 3rd or 4th year of high school, personal statements matter, and it can be really difficult when it comes to sitting down and writing it to remember everything that you have done that could be useful in your personal statement. So my little tip here is just have a Word document or a notebook or something that you just note down any little thing that could be really vital in your personal statement that you may forget when it comes to writing it. Everybody's been in that situation when they sit down, go to write something, and then their brain just goes blank. So if you have those little notes somewhere, it's going to help you a lot. So whether that be noting down things like any extracurricular activities that you do, any awards that you've won, anything that you're excited about or enthusiastic about, note it down because it'll come in handy. And my fourth little tip here is research the courses and the universities that you're interested in. Again, whether you are at the applying stage or a little bit before that. When you're able to find courses and universities that you're interested in, you'll be able to see the grade requirements for getting into that course, and that will give you a goal to work towards. It will really enthuse you to actually get your head down. If you're sitting around exam time and you have no motivation to study, if you can see that your chosen course is looking for 2 A's and 2 B's, you'll know that you can work towards that and achieve your goal. And my second tip along these lines is know where you want to end up, even if it is trust my camera to die right on the last bit of information. Classic. So although my last little tip, know where you want to end up, sounds really similar to the last one, there is a difference, I promise. Basically, you want to know which course you want to end up on so you know the grades that you need to get in. But knowing where you want to go will give you a different kind of motivation to get there. If you decide that you want to end up at Aberdeen University, or I don't know, at Exeter or at Strathclyde or anything like that. So if you know where you want to end up, you can visit those places, whether that be on open days or just on little family trips, and it really gives you a feel of the city and it will let you see if you think you could fit in there. And this could go one of two ways. It could either put you off entirely, which isn't a bad thing because it gives you the opportunity and the time to look for different courses somewhere else that will still work for you, or it could go excellently. You could fall in love with the city, and if that is the case, it will give you an extra surge of motivation to get you through exams and studying, and hopefully, fingers crossed, end up there in September. So those are my tips for getting into university and what little bits and pieces you can do now to hopefully help you get there in the future. If you think there's anything that I've forgotten to add, do leave it down below in the comments because I'm sure it will help some people out as they're scrolling through. And if you found any of these tips useful, please let me know. It would warm my heart immensely. If you're at the stage of applying for university, I really hope that this video has helped, and I really hope that it all goes well for you and that you have an amazing university application experience. If you're watching this video from the Unite Students YouTube channel, be sure to come and check out my channel. I do videos that are pretty similar to this and some a bit more fashion-y, lifestyle related, so do come along and have a look. And if you're watching this video from my channel, be sure to head to the Unite Students channel. They have videos like this constantly, so you'll be sure to find something that will help you over there. And with that being said, I'm going to head now. I hope that you guys have an amazing day and I will see you again very soon. Bye! Mwah!